Well, I like my braids. I did my hair, and right now I find it it looks good, but I honestly find that the way the place hot, it's too hot for braids right now. But I look cute. I sweaty, but I look cute. Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you are new here, or welcome back to the channel if you are a returning subscriber. Today I wanted to switch it up and do something a little different. I wanted to add a new segment to the channel. Everything cannot just be excitement and fun and whatever. So I had some really deep life experiences as a person, and I just want to share the little knowledge that I have, hoping that maybe it might help somebody outside there with something that they're struggling with. I just don't want to use my platform to make life seem as if it's all glitz and glam and everything just goes smooth. And no, I want to let people see the realness. I want to be authentic and let people see and know that life has mountaintops and it has valleys. And sometimes, even if we're in a dark place, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, don't mean that we have to stay there or be there for all the time in life. We would eventually come out of it if we look deep within ourselves, find the light, and choose to persevere. So the topic that I want to touch on today is depression, because I have dealt with depression. I have put in place coping mechanisms and daily habits that help me to ward off or fight off my depression, and I just want to share them with you. Now, going back, at the age of 23 years old, my marriage collapsed, and I was there with no place to live, two children to see about on my own, no job, no money in my bank account, no nothing, and I didn't know how I was going to provide for my children, provide for myself, keep a roof over our heads, and do anything. I went into depression, and depression is not just you laying down in your bed, you don't want to see nobody, you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't want to do anything. That is not what depression is only. Depression could also be you overdoing things, like you coming out of yourself. For me, it was partying. I was never a partier. I started going out more, dressing flamboyant, trying to make myself relevant, trying to hang out with friends that I had no business hanging out with. I started smoking, which is something that I'm still paying for today, because I had to go back and spend all this money to fix my teeth. And it wasn't good, and I worked really hard. I tried to like stop my life up with work, and I tried to keep myself as busy and as seemingly possible as ever on the outside. And then I also was doing the pulling of hair. I used to pull out all my eyebrows, pull out the hair in my head, pull out the hair on my skin, under my armpit, my downstairs, my belly. I used to literally just pull out all of my hair. I had a hair pulling habit, trick to Manila, they just call it. I also resorted to skin cutting. So if you notice my hand here, I don't know if you could see it very well. I might have to insert a picture, but these are the leftover scars of my skin cutting. The things that helped me to get over my depression was finding a purpose in my life. Now, I was always a person, just know what I want in life, deciding that, look, by this age, I must do this, I must have this. And when life didn't go as planned, I went down the rabbit hole. So, for example, one of my life goals was to be married with children by the age of 25. I got married at the age of 22, 3 years of age, and it barely lasted 1 year. We went our separate ways. So at the age of 24, no money, no job, no marriage, no nothing. I was feeling like a failure, and I felt like I just wasted 24 years of life, like I had nothing to live for. And I wanted to just give up on living. And I was planning my suicide, and it happened that I don't know if it's divine intervention, I don't know if it's God. Well, it is God. I wouldn't say don't know if it is God. Just like every time I plan to do it, I just never get the opportunity to do it because somebody always stopping me. I eventually had a dream, and then after I wake up from that dream, God was giving me a choice to decide if I want to live or if I want to die. And then he told me, well, the choice is yours to do what you want to do with yourself. And the morning when I wake up, my son came into the room with a drawing in his hand, and he had on the paper my family, and it was a picture of myself, him, the dog that we was going and get, my other two children, the little house, the car, the garden, the flower garden. And it just touched me in a deep place in my heart and my soul, and it made me realize that I need to forget all the things that I lost, that I think that I lose, and focus on all the things that I stand to gain. Because as long as I had life, there was a possibility of winning again. There was a possibility of achieving again. There was a possibility of starting over again. You can't start over again if you're dead. You can't start over if you give up. So from that moment on, I decided that, look, my purpose in life, I was needed. I felt like I was needed. I was needed by my children. My children needed me to live. If I close my eyes, who minding them, educating them, who teaching them things about the world? Nobody not going to do it. God gave me that responsibility to be a mother and a guide towards my three children. So from that moment on, I decided that I was going to live for my children. I was not going to die, and to do all the things that I want to do, because I can't do these things in the grave. I can't travel in the grave. I can't read in the grave. I can't write in the grave. I can't do animation in the grave. I can't all the things that God gave to me to be interested in learning languages, all these different things. I can't do none of these things in the grave. I have to do these things while I am alive. So I decided that I am going to live. Thus, my channel is called Living Life or Living Life. My names, both of my names, Eva and Aisha. Eva is the Spanish version of Eve, and it means the first female, or the life giver, or the mother of all things living. And Aisha means the living one, the life giver, or living well. So if my both of my names means life, that means I had to live. I had to live. No surviving, living every day, staying in the moment, staying focused, going for the goals, living. And if you are a person that don't have children, you don't have a family, you don't have anybody to depend upon to help you in the way that I had my children and my family to help me, you could find purpose in different ways. For example, if you don't have anybody to make you feel needed, any human person to make you feel needed, then I suggest you go and get a cat or get a dog. You could get a snake, you could get a rat, a hamster. Just go and get something that's going to depend upon you to live, breathe, and survive. Get some plants and all too. If you're in neighbor with animals, get some plants, because every day in your life you're going to get up and you're going to feel good knowing that, look, if you don't water them plants, they're going to die, and they need you to live, they need you to survive. And thus you have now found purpose. You have now found a reason to live, and you have now found a reason to get up every single day of your life. The second thing that I did to help my depression was I got moving. I started to move. I have realized that when I am feeling depressed and I lay down in the bed and I don't want to move, everything seems worse. I don't know why, but like a little trivial problem that tiny like this, they just seem big like this when I don't move. If I don't get up and bathe my skin, brush my teeth, have a fixed schedule and know what I'm doing in my life, I don't feel like I live in. I just feel like I have too much of things to do. I can't function, I'm malfunctioning, and I just feel like the problem's too much, and I just make my feet to just lay in the bed and don't move. So one of the things that I do, I created a to-do list, and every day before I go to sleep, I put down on the to-do list all the stuff that I have to do next day. And even if it's silly as making up my bed, brushing my teeth, having a shower, eating a balanced breakfast, I still put it on my to-do list, and I get up and I get it done. And I try to work out every day of my life. If it's not a whole hour workout, I will do a little 10-minute stretching, go for a walk outside, catch a little fresh breeze, something. It is always harder when you're thinking about moving than when you're actually moving. Don't think about it. Just get up every day, have a bath, find something to do. Even if you're walking to the mailbox to get the mail, just get moving. Move every day. Once you move, the sadness goes away from your brain. Your brain don't feel sad anymore. Something about moving, they just make your brain feel less sad, less worried, less troubled. Things don't seem so much. And then when you, for example, when I feel depressed and my room in a mess, it makes me feel more depressed. And when I get up and I make up my bed, I tidy up my vanity, I pass a broom, it helps me to feel good. When I look at the room and the room clean, it gives me this sense of accomplishment, and then it makes me think about what else I could do to fix my life. So getting moving is another thing that you could do. The thing that you could do is write it out. The reason why we internalize our problems is because society says do not show any weakness. Don't talk about your problems. Don't tell nobody what you're going through. Don't tell nobody how you're struggling. Don't let nobody know what's going on with you. You always have to just put on this happy face and make things seem like everything going good. And we ain't struggling over here. We ain't catching we whole bottom. And that is not it. If you have nobody in your circle that you could trust to talk to God. That is what I just do. I talk to God. When you see things bothering me, I would get in my car, I would sit down, I would bounce my starter, go for a very long drive, and then while I driving down the road, I would just pour my problems out to Jesus, and I would just let him know, well, you know this one said this, and you know that one said that, and you know this one did this, and you know that one did the next, and I can't understand why she did that, and you know this bothering me, and so I think God probably just get tired of me, because all I just go to God to do sometimes is just complain, and just as the Bible verse say, lay my burdens at his feet. When I done talk it out, I just feel so good. Emotional release, getting an emotional release from problems is one of the best things that you could do for yourself. When you take a problem out of your mind and you put it on a piece of paper and you watch at it, it's come like you're changing the vantage point of it. So when it's inside of you, you can see how big it is or how small it is, because it's inside of you. You don't have a proper perspective of it. But when you take it out and you put it on pen and paper and you look at it, then you're able now to say, okay, this is not so bad, this not so terrible, or yeah, I will do this, I will do that, I will do the next, I will fix this, I will fix that, and then you begin to see all what you could do to fix your problems when you don't internalize it. It helps to write and it helps to talk. And if you can't afford therapy, to go and talk to somebody and get advice, talk to God. And if you don't want to talk and you prefer to write, go and buy a nice journal, make a cup of tea, find a nice place to sit down that'll give you peace of mind in nature or something. Get out your notebook and just write your life away. That is what I used to do. I have written about 3 or 4 notebooks full of all of the things that was bothering me, who did what, who said what, and the moment I let it out, it wasn't even such a big issue anymore because I get an emotional release from it. The fourth thing that I did to heal my depression was empowering myself. The Bible says, my people perisheth for a lack of knowledge. This meaning that if you went up against something, let me say you're going through emotional stress with family or relationship, or just whatever problem you have or you had or you was having, and you went up against the problem and the problem conquer you, and you reach into a place now where you're depressed because you feel like a failure, because that is all depression is. Depression is just sadness because things not going well and you feel like a failure and things hurting you and you just don't know how to deal with it or what to do about it. So empower yourself. If you're dealing with narcissistic people, empower yourself and learn about narcissism. Learn how to avoid being used and abused by somebody who has narcissistic traits. If you're dealing with a weight problem, educate yourself about nutrition and do what works best for you and just stay consistent, and eventually you will get over that hill and that burden. If you're dealing with a financial problem and you can't see your way in life and you can't save any money, you can't better your circumstances, educate yourself about money. Go and get some financial education. It had the internet now. It's not the 1960s where it had no internet and you just had to just suffer. Information, wisdom is like a woman that cries out on the street. She's everywhere. Google, you just punch in, type, and you could find the answers for everything. You come up here on YouTube, you type in, it must have somebody that make a video about something that you're facing and you're going through. Educate yourself about the thing that nearly took you out, so that the next time you're going up against it, you would be able to handle it and you would overcome it and you would not feel so sad and so depressed when life whoops you upside your head. Empower yourself. The fifth thing that I did to help me heal my depression was I had to learn to forgive myself. Meaning that Eva at 19 did not know what Eva at 33 knows. Right? So Eva at 19 made decisions based on the information that 19-year-old Eva had available to her, and due to the life choices that I made at 19, that is the fruit of my labor that I ate at 20. The decisions that I made at 20, I eat the fruit of it at 21, and I made the decision I made at 20 because of the information that was available to me. But now that I know better, I will do better. Now that I know that, okay, if I just barge into things because I want this or I want that and I don't take my time and assess the situation properly, then I might end up in heartbreak or something like that. Now I know, okay, I made this mistake in the past, so now that I made that mistake, I'm not going back down that road to make that mistake again, and I'm just going to keep myself on the straight and narrow pathway. And now that I know better, I do better. right? So this thing is not about beating up yourself, killing yourself. You was young, you make mistakes, you live, you learn, and when you know better, you do better. If you guys like these types of videos, please leave a comment down below. I am thinking about calling this segment Talks with Eve. And if you guys like this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload. Be yourself, and bye.
Be yourself, nobody fear till you fear yourself. What's important, how you see yourself. They won't see it till you see yourself. Can't get money